I saw myself on TV and I was shocked. I looked like a skeleton. But let's start at the beginning. Years ago, I was a guy who was eating everything. I was also very sickly. At least a few days every month, I had a fever or a cold. While I was going to high school, getting sick was awesome because I was skipping school days. As I got older, I started doing martial arts and work that I love. Getting sick wasn't as cool anymore. I hated missing days of training and work. One day, I rented a room at a Tibetan medicine's doctor's place. At first, I was skeptical about his practice. Over time, I got sick as usual. I spent 3 days in bed without any signs of recovery. I hear a knock on my door. The Tibetan medicine doctor comes into my room carrying a green drink. "Drink this," he says. I decided to give it a shot. Next day, I felt better. He then gave me another one. With each day, I was getting better and better. After seeing these results, I became curious about his medical approach. I was supposed to not eat before that and to bring a jar of morning pee with me. Yes, you heard that right. Pee, also known as urine. I entered his room. It was packed with herbs, books, and incense. He swirled the jar and took a close look at my pee, pressed my abdomen, asked a few questions, and checked my tongue. After the examination, he started describing my medical history. To my surprise, it sounded accurate. I became even more curious. Turns out that Tibetan medicine believes that there are 3 different types of body constitutions. The first one is the constitution of air, second, fire, and third, earth and water. While our body has one main constitution, it can also have a mix. Apparently, I was primarily earth and water with a little bit of air. I listened to his advice carefully, which was designed based on my constitution. My guidelines were to avoid sugar and wheat products, eat primarily warm food and avoid eating anything cold, to stay warm and to avoid getting cold. Some food products were recommended and some were to be avoided. I was also encouraged to skip naps and sleep-ins. It was challenging to follow these guidelines. I was used to sleeping in and taking naps. I was also used to eating everything. At first, it seemed like there was nothing for me to eat at all. Over time though, I found solutions and got used to my new habits. I started to feel better and more energetic. I also didn't get sick for 6 months. That was almost unbelievable. My faith in this well-being system grew. I asked for even more tips. My Tibetan medicine doctor then told me to avoid eating after 6 p.m. I decided to follow his advice meticulously. Sometimes I would spend the whole day training martial arts. I would then come back home after 6 p.m. without having eaten anything. Yet I was so committed to my new diet that I would then refuse to eat, even though I was famished. At times I was so hungry that I would go to bed early, just to wake up in the morning quicker and to have a full breakfast. Time passed. I started to feel less energized. I got sick again. Yet I thought that was because I wasn't following the diet well enough. So I doubled down on following the rules even more carefully. My parents became concerned with me. They told me that I've lost a lot of weight. I would argue that that was a healthy type of lean body, a result of my healthy diet and lifestyle. One day, I was invited to give a martial arts workshop at a business conference. There, I was interviewed for a news report. A few days later, I saw myself on TV. I was shocked. My eye bags were black. Skin was pale. I was skinny and looked like a skeleton. I had to face the truth. Something was wrong. I started questioning my diet. It was clear that something was working. At the beginning, I was getting less sick. But was the whole diet healthy? I started looking for answers. I read what science has to say about each piece of advice I was given. Some things did make sense. Sugar is universally acknowledged to be bad for your health. Same thing about wheat products. Intermittent fasting is also considered to be a good practice. But obviously, I shouldn't have done that at the expense of my nutrition. I was missing out on the required amounts of calories, minerals, and vitamins by eating so little. I was also avoiding a lot of types of foods, which made it difficult for me to get enough food. For example, I was avoiding bananas, which just doesn't make sense. I realized that I was following this diet blindly just because I saw results at the beginning. I stopped being so fanatical about it. I started eating everything again. This time, simply being more mindful of what I eat. Now I look fit and I feel great. If you want to hear the story of how I was attacked by 6 guys and what happened because of it, click on this video right here. This was Rokas, and I wish you to own your journey.